Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Welcome. Hang on just a second. I've got a new thing to tell you about today. Here it is. I'm having a contest. You know how I always say how much I love the Portrait 3? Well, I decided it's time for me to put my money where my mouth is and give you one if you win the contest. How do you enter the contest, you want to know? Well, I'm going to have 5 videos, and each video is going to have a letter or 2 hidden in it. Once you get all of the letters and you unscramble the special word and you email it to me and my team at teampattyAnn@gmail.com, you may be the winner. We're going to draw somebody randomly when I get to 40,000 subscribers. So let me tell you, I'm almost at 40,000 subscribers. So I'd love it if you would share this and help me get there. And once we get there, like I said, all you have to do is be subscribed, turn in the scrambled letters, unscramble so they make a word, and enter the drawing. I hope you win. So let's get started with the videos. I can't wait to teach you. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to use the Portrait 3 for every one of these videos that I'm going to take from start to finish. Now, of course, you can use your Cameo machine to do the same thing. And most of this stuff you can do in Silhouette Studio software and use it in your Cricut as well. So anyway, let's get started. Remember to look for the secret hidden letter so that you might win. Okay, let's start this from the very beginning. This time I went to dafont.com, where you can get lots and lots of free fonts to use with your machines, no matter what machine you have. And I saw this one called Hey Sweet. And I liked the way the font was, and I liked how thick the letters looked. And I thought that I would use this here. It's for personal use only, as you can see. Let's see, I'm going to download it, so all I have to do is come way over here to the right-hand side and click on Download. Notice I am using a Windows machine, so it automatically comes downloaded right here on the lower left. I will click on that. When I click on that, I come to this where it's not usable yet. I have to extract all. I just leave this to go right here into my Downloads folder, and I have this checked so that I automatically see my extracted files as soon as they're done getting extracted. So I say extract, and here they are. Now I always use the open type font. It's the one I choose to use. You can use whatever you like. I use the open type, and I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say install. And now it's been installed into my machine. All right, now in order to have this work in my software, what I have to do is to close my software first. It's not going to work. If I come over here, what was that called? Let's see, it was called Hey Sweet. If I come over here in Silhouette and try to type in, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Hang on, you guys. If I come over here to the letter A, which is how we begin typing fonts in, and I type in any letter, the D, I click on that and then come over here to the text style panel, and I come down here and I look for Hey Sweet. It is not going to be in here. And the reason why is I have to close my machine up, not my machine, but I have to close this software up. When I reopen it, then you'll see Hey Sweet has been installed. So let me go ahead and close this. It says, do you want to save what you've done? No. So I'll just close that out. And now I'm going to open up Silhouette again. And I'm using the Business Edition, as you saw there. And once I open it again, let's come over here again to the text tool. I'll type in any letter, click off of it, then click back on to highlight it. And now come over here to the text style panel, and lo and behold, it better be there, the Hey Sweet. Hey Sweet, there it is. It's hard to see that's what it says, but that is what it says, Hey Sweet. And we can see that because it comes right up here. See that right here? And so now what I can do here, instead of having a D here, is I can type in the text happy, and I want to put it on another line. So I'm going to come down here to the text area again, type here, start here, type in the birthday. I can actually type in the whole word, and let me show you a trick. If you're using the business edition and you're not sure what font you used here, what you can do is click on this, come over here to this little eyedropper, just this one on the lower left hand corner that says transfer properties of a shape to a selected shape. So I selected this shape. I'm going to click on this because I want to transfer, and I want to transfer these properties. And that does it just like that. Snap of the fingers. So let's check this out. What if I was to make this red? And I wanted this one to be red, but I wasn't sure exactly which red I used. Now there's many ways to tell this, but we're just messing around with this eyedropper down here. So if I click on this and then come down here to the eyedropper, just this one, there are other eyedroppers around, but this is the only one that transfers the properties. So I click on this, I click on the transfer properties, and I want to transfer the properties from this one into the one below it. Perfect, just like that. So look how good that is. Now we've already got a great start on making our cake topper. Look at that, beautiful. So let's continue on. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to move this H over so it touches the A, because I don't want it to be a separate piece of cardstock that I cut out by itself. So I am going to ungroup this now, and that makes it so that I can move every one of these letters individually. I'm going to hit my back arrow or my undo button. Another way you can undo is just hit the Control key on your keyboard and the letter Z as in zebra. Okay, now I did that so far back that they're grouped back together. So I'm going to right click and say ungroup. And now all I'm going to do is move that H over there so it's touching. And if I want to, what I can do is hit the arrow keys on my keyboard to move it over a little bit at a time like that. And then I can group all these together again, or I can weld them like that, and then they'll stay all together just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is the same thing to the letter B. So I'm going to ungroup all of these, maybe move my B up a tiny bit, and then with my arrow keys I'm doing that again. I love using the arrow keys. And this is perfect because it's having my dot of my I hit the B too, so it will stay attached. And now I'm going to weld both of these. So when I cut this out of cardstock, this is going to cut as one piece, and this is going to cut as one piece, which I'm pretty happy with. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it. Maybe like that. So actually what I could do if I want to is especially if I was doing this out of vinyl, it'd be great to just have those attached like that and weld them together. But since I'm doing it out of cardstock, I think I'll leave that piece as it is. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to have my first part, my happy birthday text, to be in red. And then I'm going to put a black, let's see. Should I put a black offset on that next? Let's check it out and see. So to put an offset, all you do is come way over here, all of these tools over here. The star that looks like it has an offset around it, that's what I click on, and that opens the offset panel. And there's the offset panel. I can drag it over here. I'm going to click on this and click on the word offset. Then I'm going to click on this and click on the word offset. And let's see. What if we let's see if we make those black. See what that's going to look like. I'm thinking I might not like it. It might be kind of dismal looking, but let's see. Make this one black as well. Whoops. Click on this offset and then come up here and change its color to black. Yeah, I think I'm going to change that, you guys. I'm going to go back, hitting my back arrow, all the way back till I don't have those offsets on there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a small white offset. I'm going to click on this, hold down my shift key and get the other one at the same time. Notice what I did. I clicked on happy, put a box around that. That's the selection box. Held down my shift key and clicked on birthday. And now those are both selected at the same time. And I'm going to offset those. But I don't want that big of an offset. I'm going to make a smaller offset, and I can change the size of the offset right here. So I'm going to go down and make it much smaller. Maybe something like that. Okay. Maybe, okay. I usually like 0.5 maybe. Okay, and I'm going to make that offset white. So again, the offset is selected right now because I did not click off of it to deselect it. So I can come up here. Right now the offset is transparent. I'm going to change it to white and leave it just like that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a black offset to the white. So click on this, and I know I have the white selected because look up here in this color swatch area. Notice how it's white up there. If I clicked here, look what I have selected now, the red text. But I want the white offset because I'm going to offset it again, and this time put black around it. Don't think I want it that big again, so I'll make it smaller again. Maybe like that. And with that offset still selected, I'm going to change its color to black. And that's what my, cake topper is going to look like right now. But I could leave it exactly like this. Let me show you something. I'm going to draw a box, and I'll change its color to something I'm not using. And I'm going to right click on it and say send it to the back. Okay, so as you can see right now, this is going to be cut out because there's going to be a hole there because we see what's behind it. This is going to be cut out. And so maybe you like it like that, right? Let's look and see what these pieces are going to look like. This is going to cut all by itself. This is going to cut all by itself. This white is going to cut like this. And then the black is going to cut like that. So you can leave all those holes in there if you like the way that looks. The other thing is you can get rid of those holes, and I'll show you how. So if I wanted to get rid of the holes just in the black, let's say, I could do this. Click on this, come up here to Object, release the compound path. Okay? Or I could click on this and right click. I like to right click a lot. And say release the compound path. Now when I do that, we're going to learn more about that in the next 4 classes. But when I do that, what that's going to do is put a box around everything that makes up this shape. And that's going to allow me to get rid of these cutout areas in here easily. So when I say release compound path, okay, it's hard to tell, but it put boxes around these. And now all I have to do is say weld, and that made that into one piece. So now if we put this up here, okay, and we put these back, this is the cake topper that we're left with. It's nice and sturdy now because it has that full black area in the back, adding to the stability of it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how you would go ahead, I'm going to use my arrow key again on my keyboard to move that up, how you would go ahead and make this with the silhouette portrait. Okay, here I have my portrait machine, and I have my red 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock on my mat, and I'm going to feed it in. And then I'm going to come back up to my screen up here and say send. Now, I'm going to move, I want to make it much bigger than that. Let's go back to design and let's scroll out for a sec, okay? Put these all back together. Look how small I made that. I want to make that much bigger. So let's make it about 5.5 inches wide, which will make it like 4 inches tall. And now let's go to send, and I'm going to send it by fill color. So notice there are 3 colors that show up right here, right? The white, which we know we have over there, the red, and the black. And obviously I have the red on the mat first. So I'm going to uncheck these 2 because all I'm going to cut right now is the red. Now I can move these off the mat, and that's what I usually do. The ones I'm going to cut are on the left-hand side. The ones I've already done, I usually put on the right. So I'm just going to put these on here like this. And I'm going to come up here. It says cardstock plain. For my machine, the best way to do this is for me to put it on cardstock textured. However, I usually teach everyone to do a test cut first. So that's what I'm going to do for you right now. I'm going to leave an area right up here in the upper left-hand corner to do a test. Okay, so I'm going to click on this button right here that says test. And it's going to send a test to my portrait. Okay, now what it's done is it did a test. So let's remove this and see how well it did. And oh, look at that. It cut the triangle out perfectly, as you can hopefully see, and the square perfectly as well. So these settings are going to work really, really well. So let's load this mat back in. And now I'm going to go, let's see, we have this set up, have cardstock textured, auto as the action cut. I have the auto blade. I always use the auto blade. I don't have a problem with mine. And I'm going to say send. Okay, it says it's done, but always before I go ahead and remove my mat, I make sure that it cut the way I expected it to, and it certainly did. I can tell that. So now I can remove this from the machine, push my machine back a little bit, and just take this off of here. Usually turning it over is the best thing to do. Just carefully, carefully. Okay, there it is. And I have a few little pieces to weed out here. And the bee. Okay, now this piece is going to be kind of fragile until I get the other pieces on the back of it. So I'll have to be very careful with it when I lift it off of here. I have another tool, the pin pen, that I like to use. This is a pin pen, has a little pin in it, and it makes it a little bit easier to get out some of these little tiny spots. You can just put a pin, from what I've been told, into a mechanical pencil, and you can make your own pin pen. I've not tried it yet because I had purchased this one. I think that is all. Oh, yep, that's all. Okay, so now I'm going to carefully try to take this off of here. Now I've used a very sticky mat, and I probably should have used an older mat, but we'll see how this will work. All right, so here's the words happy and birthday, and now I'm going to cut out the next part, which is the white. It doesn't matter which one I do next, but I'll put the white on my mat. And all of my cardstocks are a little bit different texture and a little bit different weight, so it would probably be smart of me to do a test cut every time. So let's look up at my screen. I'm going to go back to design. Well, I don't really even have to. I can just move this off of here and bring my white one over, right? Just like that. I have it on cardstock, textured and heavy still. So I'm going to do a test again. So I'm going to put this in here. And I'm telling you, testing will save you a lot of frustrations when you try to cut the thing and the whole thing gets ruined. If you simply come down here and click on test, it's going to test the settings that you have and see if they work. Okay, that's done. So let me take it out and see if it cut properly. And oh my, yes, it sure did. Let's see if the triangle cut out. Certainly did. That's perfect again. So the next one is a thicker cardstock, the black. So I'm going to definitely test that one. So I'm going to put this one in and come up here again to my machine and just say send. Okay, again, before I take this out, I'm going to test it, because if it doesn't come off right, I can always send it through again if it's not cut properly. But this looks like it's worked as well, so I can just take it out and take this off. Now this is going to be easier because it's not as fragile as the last one was. This is the bubble for happy birthday. Okay, there we go. There's a little bit of stuff that I need to get out right here, and that might be the only thing. So let's see how this is going to fit. So I could put this on here. Look how beautiful that's going to be, you guys. Beautiful. And this on here for my cake topper. But we're not done yet, right? We could be done. I could glue these two things together and put a stick on the back of these. Maybe I'd want to double this white piece up if I wanted to make it thicker. I could glue two of them together. But I'm going to go on with the black piece now. So let's clean off this mat a little bit. I got a few little odds and ends here. Here's my scraper. Scrape these off. Okay. And now let's get out my black. As I said, my black cardstock is stiffer. So I am definitely going to do a test with this one and see if it works. And I have a feeling I'm going to have to change some settings. So let's put this one in. Put it in. All right, so I'll move the white off to the side. I usually move the things to the right, as I said. So I'm done with those. I'm done with the word happy and birthdays. Move those over. Now I'm ready for this one. And I'm going to do a test. So let's go ahead and send the test. And I'm a little nervous, like I said, about this one. All right, let's see how it did. All right, see, I was right. This one did not cut all the way through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up. I usually like to up my knife blade depth. I know most people do their force, but I do my knife blade. So you can learn and try and see what you like to do. Okay, I'm testing this one again. I did change my cutter settings, and unfortunately I wasn't able to show you that, but I changed my settings, changed my knife blade depth to a 6, and that worked perfectly. So now I can just take this one out and take this off. So we have our 3 pieces for our cake topper. So now I can move my portrait out of the way. Love this thing. Don't forget, be watching for the secret letter for this video so that you can win. Okay, and now to put it together for you, I'm going to start putting the white on the black. So I'm just using my art glitter glue. You could use any type of glue that you might have. Okay, it looks pretty good. So when you use the art glitter glue, you have just a little bit of wiggle room in case you need to slide this around to make it fit perfectly. There you go. Okay. Now, obviously you can make your cake topper any size you want. This one might be a little bit small, but maybe it's perfect for one of those little 6 or 8 inch round cakes that you can get. Okay, now I'm going to do birthday. So again, just use the art glitter glue and just kind of dot it around on here. You know, another good thing this would be good for is Valentine's Day will be coming up. Maybe you'd like to make cupcakes and make little cupcake toppers. By the way, the next video we're going to have in the contest, where you'll get another letter to win a Portrait 3, is going to be on creating SVGs for beginners. So that's what the next class will be, creating SVGs for beginners. So if you've always wanted to make your own SVGs, you're tired of purchasing them, I'm going to teach you all about how to make your own SVG, and you won't have to buy them ever again. Okay, there's that. Carefully turn this over and put this on here. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Good thing I have wiggle room. Beautiful. I love it. It's so pretty. Oh, wait, I gotta move it. Gotta move it. Oh, need some more wiggle room. There we go. Whee. Need a little bit more wiggle room. I love this. And it's nice and sturdy too. Hope you can tell that. So now I'm going to do this. And now the other thing I do at the very end is I take a popsicle stick or a toothpick, whatever size would work best, and just glue that on the back with hot glue. Okay, that's the only other thing I do. Now, another thing that you could do is you could put another layer of the black so that you sandwich the popsicle stick in between, and I'll show you what I mean in a sec. But this video is getting quite long, and I think y'all are probably about OD'd on me. So let's see, let's pull this one over and do this. And wiggle it around a little bit with our, whoopsie, wiggle room that we have. Wiggle, wiggle. Come on, wiggle, wiggle. There you go, wiggle down. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so what I'm talking about is this black piece back here. You could have made another one and glued it on the back. But before you glued it back here, let's imagine this is my popsicle stick. It's obviously not. I would have this popsicle stick and then glue the other piece on top of that, and then that would be ready to put into my cake as a lovely cake topper. And as you can see, it's quite sturdy, it's really nice, and I hope you enjoyed this class. So thanks for joining me. See you all again next time. Don't forget, write down today's secret letter. There'll be 4 more classes where you'll get letters, and if you can unscramble them and send the answer to me and my team at teampattyAnn@gmail.com, you'll be in the drawing for the Portrait 3. So thanks again. Hey, don't forget to subscribe also and share this. I need to get to 40,000 subscribers before we have the drawing. So check out my links down below. See you again next time where we'll do creating SVGs for beginners. Bye-bye.